Welcome back to the podcast, De Philip. We're going to be doing a deep dive today, looking at AI and surveillance and kind of the global tensions that are bubbling up around this topic. And we're going to be talking about specifically how OpenAI uncovered Chinese government agencies using their tools for monitoring social media and the West's response to this. You know, if you're enjoying these deep dives, we're trying to get to 1,000 YouTube subscribers today. So if you could help us out, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it's really interesting how this has all kind of come to light recently and really exposed, I think, this ethical tightrope that we're walking with this technology. You know, it shows how readily accessible technology can be repurposed for activities that, a lot of people might find harmful.
So OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, discovered these Chinese accounts that were utilizing their models to create and refine this social media surveillance tool.
Yeah.
What exactly did they find in their investigation?
Well, they found that these accounts were using ChatGPT for a whole bunch of different tasks related to this tool's development. And this included things like generating descriptions for the tool debugging code, analyzing English language documents, and even generating content that seems to be aimed at Chinese dissidents.
So what kind of content were they generating, and what exactly was the purpose of this tool?
Well, it appears that they were creating content that was designed to, counter anti-Chinese sentiment. And the tool itself was far from passive. It was actually feeding information back to Chinese authorities in real time, even tracking events like protests and disseminating information in response to online activity.
Do we know anything about the tool itself, like a name or how it functions?
It's believed to be called Peer Review, or possibly Qianyu oversees Public Opinion AI Assistant. And interestingly, it appears to have been built on Meta's open source AI framework, Llama.
So how did OpenAI discover this activity in the first place?
It seems that one developer was using OpenAI's tools to debug code for this surveillance system, which triggered some alarms within OpenAI, prompting them to investigate.
So what happened once they confirmed that this was happening? What did OpenAI do?
They moved pretty quickly and blocked the accounts involved, citing their policies against using AI for unauthorized surveillance and the suppression of individual liberties. OpenAI might have taken action, but this whole thing has really sent a ripple through Western governments, and their reactions have been strong.
What were their concerns?
I mean, for one, there's the immediate security implications, right? This incident shows how these AI tools can be used for, things that could really compromise national security. So you're seeing increased surveillance of Chinese AI activity. Intelligence agencies are trying to get a handle on just how widespread these tools are and what they can actually do.
Beyond just security,
right.
What other worries are there?
Well, data privacy is a big one. If this tool was monitoring Western social media, that brings up all sorts of questions about how that data is being used, maybe even exploited. And some countries aren't taking any chances. We've seen South Korea, Italy, the US, Taiwan. They've all banned certain Chinese AIs. They're citing national security concerns.
With all these bans, it feels like there's a real distrust brewing when it comes to AI.
Yeah.
Is this becoming some kind of technological arms race?
It's a good comparison. There's definitely a sense of competition. Everyone's trying to get ahead in AI. And some people are saying we need stricter regulation to prevent AI from being misused, maybe some international guidelines for ethical development and use.
Collaboration has always been so important for these big scientific and technological advancements. Is this incident changing that?
It's definitely strained things. Some are even saying that the U.S. should tighten restrictions on exporting advanced tech to China. Things like the computer chips that are needed for AI development. The goal is to slow down China's progress. But it's a global world. It's hard to completely isolate any one country.
This all feels very familiar, like some of the geopolitical struggles we've seen in the past.
Yeah, you see those parallels.
Yeah.
We're seeing an ideological struggle, but this time it's being fought with artificial intelligence. And the stakes are incredibly high. It really makes you wonder about the future of open source AI. How will it be developed? How will it be used?
It's a bit unsettling to think that these tools that were designed to improve communication and creativity can be used for things like surveillance and control. What does this incident tell us about AI and the potential problems that could come up as it gets even more powerful?
I think this is a big wake-up call. We're still in the very early stages of figuring out what AI can really do. The potential is huge, but as we've seen, the risks are huge too.
So where do we go from here? How do we make sure AI is used ethically?
Education is key. We need to make sure everyone understands AI, what it can do, what it can't do. Not just developers and policymakers, but everyone.
It seems like everyone needs to be aware of this. We can't just sit back and watch.
Exactly. We need to be having these conversations about responsible AI everywhere in schools, workplaces, communities, governments. AI is going to touch every part of our lives. We need to be involved in shaping its future.
Well, this has been a really fascinating look at AI surveillance in international relations. It feels like we're at a real crossroads with this technology.
We are. The choices we make now will decide how this powerful technology is used. It's a tool. It can be used for good or bad. It's up to all of us to make sure AI is used to create a future that benefits everyone.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the intersection of AI and global politics here on the podcast to Philippe. We hope you found it informative. Until next time, stay curious and stay engaged.